Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to make this container with a Glass Morphism effect. It looks pretty cool. It is very simple and easy to make. We're also going to be adding this cool hover effect to it. The blur just increases and the scale gets a little bigger. The source code will be in the description. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright, to start out, you can make an index.html file and a styles.css. You can name them whatever. I just like to name them those. Let's start out by changing the title to whatever you want. I'm just going to say Glass Morphism. Next, let's link our style sheets. Or style sheet, we only have one, but in the body, we are going to make a container, name container, and give it an h1 of hello world. All this is going to be is for our little words to be underneath the div with the glass effect, so you can actually see it more in action on what it's doing. Next, you can use the period to make it a shortcut for doing a div, and I'm just going to call this glass effect. Alright, nothing's going to show up yet. That's why we need some CSS. We're going to target everything. And we want the margin to be 0 and the padding to be 0. Next, let's target the container that we made. Change its height to 100 view height. The background to be a linear gradient, and we're going to use hex values, which are going to be 0, D, 7, E, 7C. And 2B, 23, 74. A little blue to purple kind of effect. And next, we're going to set display to flex. I cannot spell today. The justify content to center. And align item to center. All this is going to do is bring our hello world and our div to the center. Next, we can target the glass effect. This is what will have the effect on it. Let's change the height to something like 300 pixels and the width to 400 pixels. This will just give it a little rectangle kind of shape. Next, we can change the background to be RGBA, and we'll just say 255, 255, so just white, and then 0.2. A little kind of alpha channel looking cube kind of thing. Next, get the box shadow. Alright, let's set it to 8 pixels and 32 pixels. So this is where it's going to take place, kind of like to the bottom right on the container. And we'll set this to be another RGBA, which will be 31, 38, 135, and 0.3. Oops. 0.3. Alright. This gives it a kind of bluish color. I'm making it bluish because we have a blue background. You can do whatever color you want, just so long as it kind of matches. The better it matches, the more realistic it will look. Alright, let's give it a backdrop filter of blur. And we'll just give this 2.5 pixels. Doesn't make a huge difference. Let's next set the border radius to be 10 pixels. Give it a little more curvedness. Let's set the transition to be 0.3 seconds ease. This is just going to help us with our hover effect. And lastly, the cursor to be pointer. In order to add that hover effect, we're going to target the glass effect again, and we're going to target the hover. We're going to change the transform scale to be 1.1. Right now, if we go over it, scales up a little bit. Now let's do the backdrop filter, so we can add more blur to it. And we'll just change the blur to be 4.5 pixels. So it gets more blurry as we go over it. It's hard to see it really taking place because we don't have our hello world centered in the middle. We can do that right now though. by targeting the H1 and setting the position to be absolute. I should center it. Next, let's set the color to be white. We can change the font family to be SEGOEUI. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's a font that comes default with every computer, so you don't have to import it from Google Fonts or anything. Well, lastly, change the font weight to be 400, and that's it. Looks pretty cool over it. Alright, I just found out an issue that we have. We actually got to put a 0 here and a 0 here because we positioned it a little wrong when we were doing the box shadow. So now it turns out to be a lot better. The same rule still applies with the color, so have it match your background a little bit in order to give it the best looking effect. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and like always, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.